honestly, it feels like everywhere you look these days, it's just video after video.
Right.
Like you open your phone, it's like, bam, another video.
It's unavoidable.
Exactly. And you sent us this piece on AI video generation. And, I got to be honest, my initial thought was like, oh, great, more videos, like as if we need more.
Yeah.
But actually digging into this article, it's not really about the quantity, is it? It's something a bit deeper going on.
It's interesting, this article, the way it frames it, it makes it seem like AI video generation, like this creative liberation almost.
Mhm.
Like it's opening the doors, for so many people to express themselves.
Yeah, and not even just like making things easier, but making things possible that like weren't even an option before.
Exactly.
Like I was reading this article and I don't know, maybe it's just me, but all these these images popped into my head.
Sure.
Like, what if I could create like a crazy music video or like build out a whole sci-fi world? And the article argues that AI could be that thing that helps, Like
Yeah.
you don't need to go to film school anymore.
And it talks about that. Like you could be someone who has, no idea about animation. You've never picked up like expensive software or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
But you've got this idea for like a surreal art piece. And now with AI, the technology does that.
It does the heavy lifting.
Exactly.
Okay, but I kind of want to pull on this thread a bit, though. This whole technology does it. Because I don't know about you, but for me, like algorithm, all that, it's a bit like magic,
It can feel that way.
So how do we break this down, this algorithm thing, to make it make sense for like a regular person?
Well, think about it. Like, imagine you're like a chef, right?
Right.
Like a really, really good chef.
Okay.
And someone comes along and hands you this like brand new piece of kitchen equipment you've never seen before.
Okay.
You still need to know, flavor profiles and all that. But this gadget, it lets you achieve something you couldn't before.
Interesting. So you're saying these algorithms are like tools. Like if they augment our creativity, they don't replace it.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, instead of having to build a house from scratch with a whole team of people, you've got like prefab walls and power tools.
It makes things a bit faster.
Yeah, but you still need the blueprint, the vision, right?
Right, right. You know what this reminds me of? This whole thing is kind of like, remember when those digital audio workstations came out, those DIWs?
Oh, yeah.
And it was like suddenly anyone, like if you had a computer, you could make music. You could have a recording studio in your bedroom.
I remember that.
Are we talking about like that level of change here for video?
Yeah, I mean, potentially, this article argues that one of the biggest things AI video generation offers is like deep personalization.
Personalization, okay.
So like, imagine a teacher can create a lesson and it's tailored to each student.
Oh, wow.
Or a company can make an ad campaign that's so specific to you.
Wow. So we're not even just talking about making like, funny cat videos.
No.
This could be huge for so many different fields.
It could change everything.
Wow. Okay, so then picking up on that, there's this other aspect the article talks about, this like, I don't know, kind of a techie aspect to it.
Yeah.
Where for a lot of people, it's not just about the end product, the video itself, it's about almost like figuring out the technology.
Right, like it's fun to play with.
Yeah. Like remember, you get a new gadget, you just can't wait to figure out how it works. It's that same energy.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
The article actually compares these early AI video enthusiasts to, like throughout history, artists who gravitated to new mediums.
Like, oh, interesting.
So like, think about the first painters who were like, ooh, oil paints, this is cool.
Yeah.
Or filmmakers who were pushing the boundaries of special effects.
They just wanted to see what would happen.
Exactly, and I think that's what's driving some of this excitement around it.
So it's like this desire to explore, to experiment, but now it's with this new set of digital tools.
Yeah, like a whole new frontier opened up.
So we have this potential to make video creation more accessible, more personal, and then on top of that, you layer this, like, just this human desire to tinker and explore.
Right, like the two things feed each other.
It's like a perfect storm of technology and creativity colliding.
Yeah, I like that.
But like with anything new, right, there are always like bumps in the road.
Absolutely.
And the article doesn't shy away from some of the, I don't know, maybe downsides of this whole thing.
Yeah, like it's not all, sunshine and rainbows.
Exactly.
And one thing that I think is worth thinking about, this idea that with AI, we might end up with just like a ton of, I don't know how to put it.
Like not very good content.
Yeah, like not very inspired,
Right, like a million AI-generated music videos that all kind of look the same.
Exactly.
And then, like, how do we even find the good stuff? Like, if everyone's just churning out content.
It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
It's overwhelming.
It is, and it's interesting because the article actually connects this to, like, other times in history when new media came along.
Oh, like what?
Well, it talks about television, for example.
Okay.
Like when TV first came out, there was all this fear, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what's this going to do to society?
Right.
Will there be anything good on it?
Interesting. It does feel kind of similar, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it makes me think about, like, even the internet, right? Like, early days of the internet,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
people were skeptical.
And yeah, there's definitely some questionable stuff online, but it also connected us in ways that, like, no one could have imagined.
Totally.
So maybe this is, like, part of that same process with AI video.
It's possible. And one thing that feels different this time is that, like, the barrier to entry is so low, right?
Yeah, like anyone can, basically.
Yeah, the article make this point that with AI, the power to create, it's in many more hands.
It's democratized.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, with great power comes great responsibility.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's like we're giving everyone a megaphone.
Wow. Yeah. It's true, though. And not everyone's going to use it for good.
Right. So then it becomes about how do we, not just as creators, but as viewers, how do we navigate that?
Yeah. How do we even begin to, like, filter the noise?
I think that's where this idea of, like, discerning quality content comes in.
Okay, so, like, being able to tell the good from the bad.
Yeah. And not even just, like, spotting a deepfake or something, but, like, really thinking critically about why was this video made? What's the message here? Do I connect with this?
So it's almost like moving past the initial, like, ooh, AI is cool, to a more, I don't know, like, thoughtful engagement with it.
Yes. Like, you don't just watch one sci-fi movie and then decide you hate all sci-fi, right?
Right. That wouldn't make sense.
So we need to be careful about making judgments about, like, all AI video based on just a few examples.
Okay, so be open-minded, but also, like, pay attention.
Exactly. Like, be curious, but critical.
I like that. So as this technology keeps, like, changing so fast, do you think will we see, like, new standards emerge? Like, how do we even evaluate what makes a good AI video?
That's a great question. And I think it's something that will evolve over time,
Mm.
Like, just as photography had to find its own place, alongside painting, AI video, it's going to lead to new ways of thinking about art, about creation, about the relationship between the creator and the audience.
Wow. Yeah, those are some big, big questions.
Big questions.
It does feel like we're, like, right at the beginning of something huge, but we don't even know what the rules are yet.
Exactly. It's exciting.
It really does, doesn't it? Like, I don't know, it makes me think about those, like, way back in the day, those first audiences, seeing those, like, flickering images on a screen.
Oh, yeah, like the first movies ever.
Yeah, and their minds are blown, right?
Yeah.
And they couldn't have known back then that it would turn into Hollywood, documentaries, all that.
Right. Like, the potential is just unimaginable.
So then, with AI video, what does that even look like? In 5, 10, 20 years, what's going to happen?
It's wild to think about. In the article, actually, it touches on this idea that with AI video generation, the biggest impact, it's not going to be the technology itself.
Interesting.
It's going to be how we use it.
Okay, so, like, we have a choice to make. It's not just like AI is going to dictate the future of video.
Right. Like, we're not passive in this. We get to shape how this plays out.
Okay, so we have a lot of power here, but also, like you said, responsibility that comes with that.
Exactly. And this is where the article, it really drives home this point about we need to be able to discern quality.
So being able to tell the, like, good from the bad.
Yeah. And even more than that, like, understanding the nuances, the layers, being critical thinkers about what we're watching.
Okay, so not just like, ooh, cool visuals, but, like, really thinking about what we're seeing.
Exactly. And that goes for any kind of media, right?
Mm-hmm.
But especially now with AI, because it's so new, we have to be extra vigilant.
So, like, questioning everything, like, why was this video made? Who made it? What are they trying to say?
Exactly. And can I trust them?
It makes me think about, like, filmmaking, right? Anyone can point a camera and hit record, but a good filmmaker, they know how to use the camera to tell a story.
Right. There's an art to it.
And it's the same with AI video. It's not enough to just have the technology. You have to know how to use it effectively, ethically.
And make something meaningful.
Exactly.
And that's what's exciting, because just like with traditional filmmaking, there's going to be those amazing AI videos, and then there's going to be, well, the not so great ones.
Right, like anything else. So we got to be ready for that as viewers.
Really be discerning.
Yeah, we can't just, like, passively consume whatever AI throws at us.
We have to be active
This
participants.
has been, wow, a lot to think about. Like, we've gone from the really practical stuff to, like, the future of art and
It's a
everything.
lot to unpack, that's for sure.
It really is.
Mm.
But I think that's what makes this conversation so important, you know?
And I think the article does a great job of, even if it doesn't give us all the
He
answers.
gives us the right questions.
Ex-
So, to you listening, here's something to think about, okay? The next time you're scrolling through and you see an AI generated video, take a second. Yeah, be impressed by the tech, but then go deeper. What's the story? Who's telling it? And why? Be curious, be critical, but most of all, stay engaged because it's just the beginning. And we're so glad you're on this journey with us. Until next time.